Well, happy game day morning, folks. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Somebody sent me this Dallas Cowboys apron set, and I appreciate it last year. And I apologize because I can't remember who sent it, but thank you very much. The only thing is, it's made for people that are a little skinnier than me. It'd be nice to be able to tie it in the front, but my belly gets in the way. So today it's the Dallas Cowboys versus the New Orleans Saints. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to do shrimp poor boy. Now, I'm not at home where I get my 3-foot subs. So I've got 3 subs here that are slightly over a foot. So we'll have a little bit more than 3 foot. So hopefully this will be okay for us to get the victory over New Orleans. Now, what we're going to do is we got our shrimp here, okay? And you can see the size of the shrimp. These are nice big shrimp. I love big shrimp. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to need to peel these and devein them. And peeling a shrimp is really easy. You just kind of go right up underneath it. Here, let me pull it back a little bit. You get another one here. So you can buy them with the heads on. I don't necessarily recommend them, but you know, because then you got the all orange stuff that's in there. It's kind of crazy. But what you do is you're just going to basically grab it right underneath of it, between the feet, and you can just pull that right away. See how that pulls off? And then pull the tail off. And then you have a perfectly clean shrimp. Now when you go through, and here's what I'm doing too here, is I'm going to actually save the shells because we're going to use that to make some broth. Now when you're going through, for what I'm doing, because we're going to bread these and deep fry them, is we're going to butterfly them. And so we're just going to take our knife and go right through there. And you'll see that it's butterflied like that. Now, if you have the poop chute would be right there, and you can just pull it out. It's like a hair almost. But what this does is, by you butterflying like this, it gives more surface area for you to get your flour and your breadcrumbs and your seasoning in there. And what it'll do is it'll make it even bigger when you have it in the bowl, when you cook it. So you'll actually use less shrimp. So that's a little trick here to make your food go further. And so I've got about 2.5 pounds right here, which should be plenty for us. So I'm going to peel all these, get them deveined, and then we're going to put those aside until we're ready to cook them. The nice thing about cooking shrimp, deep fried, only takes a couple of minutes for them to go, and so it's very, very quick. And we'll be able to put those right on the subs. We're going to make a ramoli sauce, which is really pretty simple. It's basically like a spicy mayonnaise. Some people like to put capers in theirs, and you don't have to, but basically you're going to put some Dijon mustard, some lemon juice, mayonnaise, and some parsley in there, and it'll make a great spicy sauce that'll go on here for the shrimp. So that's the step 1 of getting our poor boy together. And it'll just have lettuce, shredded lettuce, and tomato slices. Yeah, it's monotonous peeling shrimp, but hey, it's football. It's what we love. So I have to tell you, I love this kitchen. You know, this kitchen, of course, 200-year-old house. And this is the first time that I got a chance to kind of build a kitchen basically from scratch, that there was nothing in here, that we were able to put everything the way we wanted to do it. And it's really, really functional because we got the sink over there, we got the stove over here, we got the microwave with the convection oven, and we have lots of counter space, including the big island that's over here. So if you were to have a few people in here working in the kitchen, it's a small kitchen. It's only 12 by 15. You could still have quite a few people working in here. So this is one of the prep areas that I have here. So now we've got our shrimp all peeled and deveined, and you can see, look at that, butterflied, really nice. So that's about 2.5 pounds of shrimp right there. So what we're going to do is, we've got some time before we're actually going to deep fry them, but what we're going to do is we're going to make an egg wash to go ahead and get the shrimp nice and wet, so that way when we put them into the breading, that it'll stick, and it'll also make it crispier because you want that nice crispy shrimp. And what it'll also help do is it'll bring out the sweetness in the shrimp as well. If you do this right, you literally, you feel like, did they put sugar on that? Okay, so I got 3 eggs right here. We're gonna put a little bit of water into that because you want it to be thin. Whisk it up real good, and we're just gonna go ahead and pour that onto the shrimp, so that way it'll get it nice and wet. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make our breading for it. And what I do is I do a 50% flour and 50% breadcrumbs with just Old Bay. Just Old Bay. Because you don't need a whole lot when you're talking about dealing with shrimp. It's really simple flavors and things with it. So you can see we got our shrimp all covered in here. We'll take our fork and just make sure that it's aerated well, because they kind of stick together a little bit there, but you can see there's our shrimp. Oh man, this is going to be so good. And what we're going to do, we're going to take our bread. I've got my griddle outside. We're going to toast the bread with a little bit of butter onto it, so that way it'll be a nice crispy roll. Oh, it's going to be so good. Simple things going on this. Just lettuce, tomato, that vermouth sauce. That's it. So we just got some plain breadcrumbs in here. And we're going to go ahead and go about 50-50 roughly in this. And lots of Old Bay. Now you can do, if you're not doing the shrimp sub, the other thing you can do too that's really nice as well is you can take the shrimp, when you peel the shrimp, leave the end of the tail on it, and go ahead and just deep fry it like this. And that way you can just have some of the best fried shrimp that you ever had, as opposed to make it in a sub. You know, if you're trying to stay away from the bread, although you get the breadcrumbs in there. So there you have it. And I like to taste it and see how spicy it is. Keep in mind when you, yeah, I can taste that Old Bay. You want to make it a little bit heavier, spice-wise, when you're doing your breading, because it gets really watered down, so to speak, when you do it on the shrimp. So that's it. I've got all this stuff prepped. I'll get the deep fryer at 350. These will cook for about 2-3 minutes until you'll see it. They'll turn pink, and they're ready to go on that sub. Real easy deal. Real easy. Okay, so we're about 2 hours from kickoff, and I'm beginning to get everything together. And so we've got our shrimp that are in with our egg wash. We've got our breading and stuff ready. We're also doing some Jobu wings, which I actually marinated them in buttermilk. So they're going to be getting ready to come out. And I'm going to go get the oil on because I want to be finished before kickoff. And what we're going to do is we're making our remoli sauce. Now there's all different kinds of ways of making anything. Some people like to have sweet gherkin pickles in there and so on. I'm not so much with the sweet pickles. But what we are going to do is we're going to put some garlic in there. We've got a couple of cloves of garlic. We've got some shallots or spring onions, as you know, is what we always call them growing up. We're going to go ahead and chop those up real fine. We're going to use some mustard, Dijon mustard, and we're going to put some capers in there. I like the capers better than the gherkin pickles. You see how we chop that up real nicely. Fine there? Yeah. We want it to be fine, like my wife. Nice. There we go. So we got that. And my wife is into, we go to Restaurant Depot and we end up buying like big bags of limes and lemons. So we end up having those. She has to actually squeezes them out. So we're going to put in about half a cup of mayo in here. And we're going to put in a couple of teaspoons of the Dijon mustard. That'll give us a little bit of heat in there. We're going to add some lime juice. And we're going to put a little bit of smoked paprika. Smoked paprika, a little bit of cayenne. Now, I don't know where she got this cayenne from. This cayenne is hot as a mother humper. So be real careful with that one, especially if you have the in-laws that don't like too much heat. And we're going to put some parsley in with this. Now, everything, of course, is to taste. Some people like things hotter than others. Some people like things sweeter than others. Some people, you know, they don't want to go ahead and put in a little taste of sugar because they like their stuff sweet. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is our remoli sauce right here, and I need to put in my capers. Now, we're going to keep the moisture out of the capers, so we're just going to go ahead and scoop out. Almost forgot the capers. There we go. You can see the sauce right there. And this will go with our shrimp. Will be fantastic. Oh yeah. You got the fresh taste of the onions and the garlic with the lime, and then you got a little bit, I'm gonna put just a little bit more cayenne. Just give it just a hair more kick to it, and a little bit more smoked paprika. And this is where you can always add more spices. It's hard to take them out. Now, some people do like to put like a little shot of hot sauce, and that's purely up to you, but this is what we're gonna be using for our shrimp subs. And I'm going to slice up some tomatoes and some lettuce and have that stuff ready to go ahead and top it. And we're going to have some blue cheese dressing with some carrots and celery sticks. And of course our Jobu wings. We're going to do some that are just fried, some of them that are fried, and then having the hot sauce on there. So you got a little bit of variety as we get ready to watch the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so we're less than an hour away from kickoff of the game, and we're getting the final touches and things. I've got some Jobu wings that are cooking in the deep fryer outside on the Butler pantry, I guess we're going to call it, or the Butler summer kitchen or mini kitchen. I don't know. We haven't come up with a name for it yet. But I'm putting some butter on our bread for our sub, so we're going to warm that up just a little bit on the griddle. So that way we'll have a nice warm sub here. And then we'll put our remoli sauce, our lettuce and tomato, and our shrimp. That's it. Real simple sandwich here. And I'm going to get the chicken wings done first because they take a lot longer than, of course, the sub does. Well, it's time for our final step here. We have, as you can hear the chicken. It's deep fried. We're going to deep fry the chicken, of course, first before the shrimp, because the shrimp only take a couple of minutes for them to deep fry. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our shrimp and we're going to bread them real good in our flour and cracker meal, and then we're just going to deep fry those and put them on the sub. Now the key on this is, when I was telling you about butterflying it, is it gives more space to get more of that crunch into it. And so you'll have more crispiness in there, and it'll also go a lot further too. And I'll probably cook this in like 2 batches because it's a lot of shrimp, and I've got the deep fryer I have here is kind of small. Ooh. Mm. Yes, sir. That's real good there. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, no. It's hot. All right, so it is now magic time. We've got our charcuterie board. Look at that. Look at that bread toasted. Oh, Nelly. Oh, my goodness. This is so simple because it's just fried shrimp. And I tell you what, we're going to put this right here so you guys can hopefully see this a little bit better. Ooh, look at that. We're going to put our mole sauce. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. We're going to get our beautiful, beautiful shrimp. Wife keeps moving everything, so I lose everything. Look at this. Get back on there. We're going to put plenty of shrimp on there. Oh, don't you think about falling off of there. Now you can see how butterfly, it makes it like a little anchor. It makes it look pretty. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and put on put on a little bit more ramole sauce. Because if it ain't sloppy, it's not good. Now these are some tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, that we actually grew here at the Red Brick House. Now what's going to be nice about this is you're going to get that crunch from the sub, and you're going to get that great flavor from the ramole sauce, and you're going to get the sweetness of that shrimp. Oops. One trying to get away. I got him. Nothing like warm buns, people. Get back on there, shrimp. All right, are you ready? Are you ready to see this, people? Look at this. We'll get deep in here. Look at that. That's our shrimp po' boy. Put a little bit of hot sauce on that bad boy, and you are good to go. All right, good people. We have 8 minutes till kickoff, and I'm gonna be upstairs eating down, throwing down on this po' boy. And I'm gonna take a couple extra shrimp too. Woo, wait. Take me a couple extra shrimp to nibble on. And get some of these wings over here. And I gotta make sure I get some wings for Joe Boo too. And we got the glizzies. We need a little plate for Joe Boo. Joe Boo, where's your wing plate? Where's your plate? I need a little plate. Tell you what. Joe Boo, you're getting a bowl full. Joe Boo's got his wings. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys. Happy game day. Happy game day.